I'm kind of excited because I had an idea for a project and I'm going to start it today. I challenged myself to go out to a thrift store and find, kind of a beat up, used baby doll so that I could make a reborn. I went to like 5 thrift stores and I couldn't find a doll. Everything that was there was Disney. Let's see, like those very, very inexpensive made in China dolls that are about this big. They have no detail whatsoever. They're made out of really crappy vinyl. I'm not even sure if they're going to hold up to the new wave or paint. Not interesting at all. I did find some baby alives that were really cool, but their eyes were huge and cartoony. And they had these like spongy bodies, and I don't know what to do with that stuff. And I found lots of porcelain dolls. I'm not interested in porcelain dolls. Didn't find kind of the baby that I was looking for. I think I was looking for maybe a used Berenguer or an old, an old vinyl doll from, I don't know, the 80s or the 70s. Somebody offered me an old Berenguer that they had, and she sent it to me. Thank you, Annette. You're the sweetest. And I also won one on eBay that was I paid a little bit too much for, and I have no idea what kind of condition it's going to come in, but I'm still waiting for that one. But I thought while I'm waiting for the second one, I'm going to get started on the first one. Here's the first one. He has boy parts, so avert your eyes if that bothers you. And he's missing his head because I was playing with his head and I popped it off accidentally. Here's his head. He's kind of funny looking, isn't he? I mean, probably back when he was first made, this was very realistic. I mean, when I was little, baby dolls didn't look like this. So, yeah, his head popped off really, really easily. This doll is in great shape. The vinyl is a little sticky. I think some of the oils from, I don't know if when vinyl starts to break down, if it gets sticky. I'm not sure about the history of it. It's a little sticky, and I can tell that the vinyl used to be super peachy, and I think where clothes were on this baby, you can still see that it's very peachy. But over time, and maybe exposure to elements and sun, it has started to turn this really funky, yellowy, browny color. Super sticky here where the fingers are. So I think what I'm going to have to do is play around with that. Hopefully maybe a little bit of deep cleaning and stripping is going to help. So I think I'm going to pop limbs off, and see, the arms and the legs aren't coming off. I think what I'm going to do is stick this baby in the oven in my new wave and warm it up a little bit and see if I can't pop off the arms and the legs. The head came off so easily. And then this looks like a 19-inch doll. I'll probably put a 19-inch cloth body. I will paint this torso to match. That way, if the person who ends up with this baby wants to reassemble it in its original way, that they'll have it. Yeah, I'll do that. There are some stains and some marks, but nothing, I think, that is permanent that I can't get off. And I am so appreciative. This was an awesome gift. What a nice friend. Art friends are amazing. Doll art friends are the most generous people ever. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to get some acetone and scrub off anything that I can scrub off. I'm going to warm up this baby and pop off these limbs and look online for a connector because the neck doesn't have a flange. The flange is on the body. So I'm going to have to find a connector. If I can't, I'm going to have to reassemble the baby, have a full torso assembled baby. I'm also going to go inside the head here and cut those eye pockets and pop these plastic eyes out. Maybe I can pop them out up front. Let me see. This looks horrible, but just remember, it's just vinyl. Yeah, I think I can get those eyeballs out by hand. There we go. They're not bad eyes. I mean, I wish I had my tools close by. They're not horrible eyes. Let me see if I have a pair of pliers in here. But I want to change them. And I might experiment maybe with cutting the, I'm going to destroy this eye, pulling it out. There we go. Yeah, it's not a great eye. I mean, the iris is pretty, but it's made out of this kind of crumbly, yucky plastic. See if we can get that other one out. I want to experiment with maybe opening up these eyes just a little bit. I don't know if that's worth it. We'll see what happens when I put the other eyes in, how it looks. Let's pull that eye out. Just a kind of a inexpensive eyeball. Ta-da! He actually looks better without his eyes, doesn't he? Now, this is going to be a challenge here. This molded hair. I'm going to strip off all this paint. I've never done hair painting on a molded head before. I don't know if that will add to realism or if that's just going to be tricky business. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to keep him blonde though, I know that. Yeah, that's going to be a challenge for me. And he has this cute little bracelet here. I might keep that just because it's a part of who he is, but I'm not going to keep it on him. I baked and boiled this poor baby, and these limbs are not coming off. So my soft body idea, not to be. That's okay. I'm going to actually end up painting him all in one piece. I moved his limbs so that I just wanted to see if he was going to fit in the New Wave oven, and it's going to be tricky, but I think if I bake him sitting up without his head, we're going to be... I looked around my studio for acetone, and I actually don't have any pure acetone. What I have is fingernail polish remover. I have two kinds. One is for natural nails and one is for not natural nails. And let me check out the ingredients on here. I'm pretty sure it's acetone, but you just never know. Yep, this is acetone. It doesn't say what percentage, and this one is acetone, but it has like a lot of different oils in it, I guess. And so what I did was I poured some acetone in a bowl, and I'm kind of soaking the top of his head a little bit to see if that will help work off some of this. And it did. It's evaporating quite quickly, so let me pour a little all over him. And I might go grab a scrubby. I just don't want to disrupt that vinyl. Woohoo! We're having a party here. Quite messy. Ooh, and the acetone is eating my sponge. I didn't even think about that. And it might be frustrating watching me do this, but the whole point of this video is to do this together. And I think it's kind of fun to watch people and kind of learn as they go. You get to watch that whole process. I like it. I mean, anybody can set up a perfect situation where everything goes just right. You know, remember those old cooking shows where they would make something and then they'd go to put it in the oven and then they'd pull out the perfect thing out of the oven. This is how it looks when it's done. I want to see it burn a couple times. I want to see it fall in the middle or something go wrong and her going, okay, if this happens to you, this is what you should do. Uh-oh, what are we going to do? I like problem solving. I think it's cool. Because there was no blushing on this face, the lips weren't colored, there was nothing in the nostrils, and those nostrils are very gross. They look actually drilled out, so I might have to work with that. Can you see? They look like they were partially drilled out with a very tiny drill bit. But this is all coming off quite nicely. I'm going to get some Q-tips. I'm going to keep working on this head. And yeah, that peachy color is coming right back through. Cleaning up, look. It's really nice. I'm going to soak that head a little bit. I know a lot of people have asked how to strip a baby, and I don't know if this is the way to strip a baby, if I'm doing this correctly or not. It doesn't feel like the vinyl is being damaged in any way. Actually, all of that sticky is off. So I think that was just kind of oils and life stuff. And so I'm removing the history of this doll, you know, with a paper towel. It didn't look like a doll that was ever really played with. It looked like it was in really great shape. It was probably a doll somebody collected. There's no marker, there's no crayon marks, have any stains, any food stains or anything where some little kid tried to feed it pretend baby food. There's no mold. None of the regular wear and tear that you would see with a doll that was well loved and played with. So I think all of this is just just time. I'm one of those weird people that loves to see a well-loved doll or a well-loved toy. It makes my heart swell. Velveteen Rabbit is like one of my favorite stories. I'm just gonna get inside of those tiny little grooves with my Q-tip and just continue to take off all of this paint that looked yellow, but I realize is now kind of a green color. And that vinyl is perking up. And I'll do the body. Again, I'm gonna keep the body all in one piece, and I hope I didn't get any moisture in it. And I'll be back once I'm done doing the acetone stuff. Bye. Super quick, I just wanted to kind of check in. I am cleaning the body of this baby, and honestly, no paint is coming off. So I don't think there was any paint applied to this vinyl. And that's kind of cool. The only thing that's coming off is dirt. And that's awesome. So I'm just basically giving them an acetone bath just in case the baby was sealed with anything, and to get off any oils. And I'm just rubbing that whole baby down with acetone just in case. I want to make sure that vinyl is ready for Genesis. With this baby, I'm giving him a little acetone hat. I couldn't get his whole head in that bowl, so I soaked the paper towel and I put it on his head, and I'm just going to let it soak there for a while to kind of loosen up some of that stubborn paint, and I'm just going to keep scrubbing away. That's probably going to take a bit of time, but it'll be worth it. I'm done. It probably took about an hour for me to get it all done. And I think the best tool I had was, I thought it was a toothpick, but then it became a toothbrush. So a really stiff toothbrush made it a lot easier to do. So here we go. All of the paint is off that head. I will show you the body. Just so nice. And the body is much lighter than the head. Let me see if I can show you the difference. The head's a little bit more yellow, the body's a little bit more pink. And I gave it a nice bath with some Dawn dishwashing soap. I did not soak this body. I didn't want to risk getting water inside the body of the limbs. I'm squeezing them. They don't sound like there's any water in them. Nothing's coming out. And it does feel pretty sealed up. It was so hard to try to get these limbs off. I just have a feeling that they knew that some kid was going to put this baby in a bath. And so, although I'm grateful that this baby is pretty watertight, I am kind of bummed out that I couldn't give it a soft body. But that's okay, because that means that I get a bunch of other really cool challenges. I don't mind. Let me grab a baby. Here we go. Here's Ashley. She's sitting on my bench. This is vinyl I usually work with. This is vinyl I will be working with. And this baby is just about to be baked. He just got a little varnish. But here is the look I kind of want. So you can kind of see where the challenges are going to be. Isn't he adorable? This is Mick. Oh, I love this sculpt so much. I don't know what it is about this face. And he looks a little blue right now. But like I said, he's going into the oven. He just had a bit of a varnish put on him. So we're going to work with all this yellowy, peachy stuff. And hopefully it's going to be a great baby. Isn't that cute?